Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is March 9th, 2022. Today marks the 25-year anniversary since the death of the notorious B.I.G, who was murdered in a drive-by shooting 25 years ago. And, still today, they say that his death is still unsolved. So is the death of the legendary rapper Tupac Shakur, who died the year before, 1996, on September 13th. Both of their deaths are still unsolved even 25 years later. Unbelievable. But what I'm going to show you guys in this video is how the Biggie death and the Tupac Shakur death were both Jesuit rituals, and it looks like it was also a Freemasonry ritual as well. It looks like the Masons had more to do with their deaths than the Jesuits, but the Jesuits definitely influenced the departure of both B.I.G. and Tupac. But we're gonna focus more on Biggie today because today is his anniversary of his death, and we're gonna go back and look at all the numbers because his death was orchestrated by a language known as gematria. They use this code to murder a lot of celebrities. Biggie Smalls is not exclusive to this. I could go back. I mean, if you've been watching the channel, you should already know. I mean, I think 100% of the celebrities that die, they go out by the code of letters and numbers. I don't know if there's ever been a celebrity that hasn't been executed by the Catholic Church. I mean, this probably has, but I haven't seen one yet. But nonetheless, the death of B.I.G. was definitely, a planned death. It had nothing to do with this rap beef that they promoted back in the day. So this was the headline from 1997. It reads, "The Notorious B.I.G. killed in a drive-by shooting." And notice what it says here. This is the official reporting that it came out the next day. So the stickers on the Notorious B.I.G.'s bullet-riddled Suburban read, "Think Big, March 25th, 1997. A promotion for his upcoming album, Life After Death, Till Death Do Us Part. A presage to the rapper's demise." The Notorious B.I.G., who went from a Brooklyn crack dealer to a platinum-selling gangster rapper, was killed Sunday outside a party celebrating the 11th annual Soul Train Music Awards. The 24-year-old rap star, whose real name was Christopher Wallace, was gunned down while sitting in a parked GMC Suburban. He was rushed in the same sports utility vehicle to Cedars-Sinai's Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead, police said. Wallace, also known as Biggie Smalls, was the second major rap star to die in a drive-by shooting in less than a year. Tupac Shakur was killed in Las Vegas in September. The party was sponsored by Vibe magazine and attended by its founder Quincy Jones. Publicist Arnold Robinson confirmed. Jones did not immediately return calls Sunday, but Robinson said the well-known composer and producer was stunned by Wallace's death. And now that I think about it, we should definitely measure from Quincy Jones' birthday that year. Because since they're bringing him up, there's no doubt Quincy Jones definitely knew about the Biggie Smalls death before it happened, even though he acted like he didn't know. Wallace's estranged wife, Faith Evans, and dozens of partygoers, security guards, and parking attendants witnessed the shooting. But authorities said late Sunday they had no description of the gunman and that witnesses were afraid to talk to police. "It's frustrating," said Detective Raymond Futami, one of almost a dozen investigators assigned to the case. "I'm sure there's a little bit of a intimidation factor because of the reputation of some of the people who are involved in this case." Like the Jesuit order. Wallace built his gangster rap persona around authenticity, making much of his past as a crack cocaine dealer in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, one of New York City's toughest neighborhoods. The 6', 300 plus rapper worked with Bad Boy Entertainment, run by East Coast producer Sean Puffy Combs. His Ready to Die debut recording went platinum. Speaking of ready to die, Tupac died on the 2 year anniversary of that album. That album was released on September 13th, 1994. And then Tupac died on the same day that album came out, September 13th, but 2 years later. What are the odds, right? Ready to die, and then Tupac dies. We are overwhelmed with grief by the death of a great artist, a family member, and our friend, the Notorious B.I.G., a company release said. The shooting came 6 months after Shakur was shot in September 7th drive-by attack in Las Vegas as he rode in a car with Death Row Records president Marion Suge Knight. Shakur died 6 days later. Wallace was considered a Shakur rival. Shakur once accused him of involvement in the 1994 robbery when Shakur was shot several times and lost $40,000 in jewelry. Wallace, who denied any involvement, was absent from a high school profile rap summit in Harlem last fall called to ease tensions between West Coast and East Coast rapper after Shakur's slaying. Terry Baker, Wallace's entertainment lawyer, would not comment on speculation about rivalry among rap groups. I don't understand why everyone is focusing on the negative. The man was the most loyal, sweetest person with a gigantic heart, full of love for people, Baker said. Wallace most recently lived in Teaneck, New Jersey, in a gated community where most residents were reluctant to comment on his death. The rapper had brushes with the law in both New Jersey and New York, including an arrest in Teaneck last summer for alleged weapons and marijuana possession. Neighbors had complained about continuous traffic at the house. He was arrested in June 1995 for allegedly robbing a man and breaking his jaw in Chatham, New Jersey. In March 1995, he was arrested in New York after allegedly using a baseball bat to deter autograph seekers. Wallace was honored as a Rap Artist of the Year at the Billboard Awards in 1995 and was cited for Rap Singles of the Year for One More Chance. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of that. So let's get right to it. Let's solve the death of Notorious B.I.G. once again. I mean, every year I do these videos just in case people are researching or looking up his music. Hopefully this video comes up on their feed and they can learn about the planned death of the B.I.G. And because it's just amazing how 25 years ago they did this, and 25 years later people still don't even realize how orchestrated it was. I mean, a lot of people really still think that the B.I.G. was killed by some random gang member because of the rap beef that he had with Tupac Shakur. I mean, that's just far from the truth. So far from the truth. But you guys notice how in Gematria, the Jesuit order equals 177. That is a very important number. We talk about that number probably on the weekly basis in this channel. If you notice here, Tupac and Biggie Smalls, their deaths came 177 days apart. Biggie died on March 9th, 25 years ago, and Tupac died on September 13th, 1996. So from that date to this date, it's 177 days, a number that connects to the Jesuit order, which shows you how planned all this stuff is. Because the thing is with the Jesuit order is that they always put their numbers inside of these rituals. Somehow, some way. They always put their numbers in there. Like Biggie's second album, Ready Life After Death, it came out on a day with 144 and 54 numerology. Like how Jesuit order is 144 and 54. You see, everything that was done with these two rappers was done by the Jesuit order and also by Freemasonry. Because what I learned today was Puffy, who was born on November 4th, 1969, he was definitely involved. I mean, the death of B.I.G. was very coded around Puff Daddy or Sean Combs, whatever he calls himself nowadays. But you guys notice how he was born on November 4th? November 4th, that's the 309th day of the year in leap years. And then Biggie Smalls ends up dying on 309, right? March 9th. That's how the date is written, 309. And Puffy was born on the 309th day of the year. Now, in non-leap years, it's the 308th day of the year, like the number 38, which is a very important number to the deaths of both Tupac and Biggie, who both died on dates with 38 numerology. And of course, that number gets used all the time, especially with rappers, because death, murder, killing, RIP, rapper is all 38. And we'll get into the 38s in a second, but what I want to show you guys with Puff Daddy and Biggie. Biggie was born on May 21st, 1972, and Puffy was born November 4th, 1969. And notice their birthdays came. Biggie was born 929 days after Puff Daddy, and 929 is the 158th prime number, and Freemasonry is 158, which just goes to show you that, I don't know how they do it. Really, I don't know how they do it, but these rappers were chosen from birth. That's what it looks like. And I don't know how they do it, because this stuff is so perfect every time. It's really magical how it all works out. Really, it's magical. But you guys notice how Freemasonry is 139 and 158? Notice Tupac Shakur. 139 and 158. Tupac Shakur is also 68, like how Biggie Smalls ended up dying on the 68th day of the year, which is today. And notice this, right? The name Christopher, which is Biggie Smalls' first name, it's also 139 and 158. Now, the album Ready to Die came out on 13/9. Tupac ended up dying on the 2-year anniversary of that album being released. Now, Christopher is also 158, and again, him and Puff Daddy were born 929 days apart from each other, and that's the 158th prime number. It's just unbelievable how they are able to do all this. Because how did they know Biggie Smalls was going to have this talent? I mean, a lot of this stuff is still mind-blowing to me, even though I've been doing this for a while now. It's just unbelievable how they're able to just plan all this stuff way in advance. But yeah, so notice how Biggie and Puff Daddy, they were linked through the numbers, right? Biggie even born on the 309th day of the year, and then, Tupac was, well, no, not Tupac. P. Diddy, born on the 309th day of the year, and then Biggie ends up dying on 309. Crazy, man, just crazy stuff. But yeah, so 177, their deaths, Biggie and Pac's 177 days apart. Now look, this image came out the day that Biggie was killed, right? So supposedly he took this photograph before he died. Notice Word Up magazine posted the date, March 9th, 1997. So what are the odds that they take this photograph and then just hours later he dies, right? Strange. But something that I've noticed is how, like, a lot of times the things that these celebrities are wearing are coded as well. Because maybe this is a coincidence, but you guys notice how he's wearing the Averex jacket, and that brand has the same values as murder, and then he ends up getting murdered in that jacket. Maybe that's coincidental, but I don't think so, because the name of that company is Averex USA, and notice the 39 gematria. And then he dies he gets murdered on 39 in an Averex jacket, which he made popular in those days, right? Biggie was very flamboyant, so a lot of the things that he wore, he influenced society into wearing it, like the Coogee sweaters, the Jesus Piece Cuban chains, the Averex leathers. All this stuff was influenced. He was the reason so many people were influenced by it. Started doing it. He was the influence. He was behind the influence, and it's just amazing how the brand of the jacket ends up connected to murder and the day of his death. Right? Maybe that's coincidental, but a lot of these other things are not. Like him being shot 4 times, and we know that number it's associated with death in Chinese culture. And it's strange they say 4 times when I see 5 holes here, but I don't know. That's what they reported here on Wikipedia. It says here that the murder of Christopher Wallace, better known by his stage names, the Notorious B.I.G. and Biggie Smalls, occurred in the early hours of March 9, 1997. The hip hop artist was shot 4 times in the drive-by shooting in Los Angeles, California. So I guess he was shot 4 times, but they definitely shot at him way more than 4 times because we can literally see more than 4 holes here. I mean, just look at it. A, B. I mean, they got F. So I mean, F is the 6th letter. So they definitely shot him. They shot at him way more than 4 times. But like I said earlier, the name Tupac Shakur equals 68. Biggie Smalls ends up dying on the 68th day of the year. And then Biggie, he released his album Ready to Die on September 13th. And then Tupac dies 2 years after the release of his debut album. What are the odds of that? And yeah, so this is what I was showing you guys with the Masonry, Tupac Shakur, Christopher Wallace. They all have the connection of 139 and 158. Now, his debut album titled Ready to Die, notice the 164, just like Notorious B.I.G. So perfect name for his debut album. But this is what really stands out to me. I mean, this photograph of him being outside of the hearse, I mean, what are they trying to communicate to us? Life after death. Just think about what that means. How can you have life after death? Well, if you fake your death, then you could definitely have life after death. Because there's no such thing as life after death, right? Because once you die, that's it, right? There's no more life. And then, he's outside of the hearse in this image, right? Makes me think that maybe he faked his death. Like a lot of these other celebrities do. Because, when this car rolls by Brooklyn and they're playing Biggie's music and and it's a closed casket, how can anybody confirm if Biggie Smalls is really in there? Oh, how are you going to say that? Well, can you confirm that Biggie was really in that casket when this hearse was driving through Brooklyn? You can't. You're just going by what the media told you that day. Oh, yeah, there's Biggie Smalls in here. But it's possible he was outside of the hearse the whole time. But his second album came out on March 25th. And again, that was a day with 144 and 54 numerology, a number that connects to the Jesuit order. And notice he was born Christopher George Latour Wallace. His name has that 153, just like Jesuit order. And his second album came out on the 25th, 16 days after his death. And when you write out 16 as a number, well, actually as a word, excuse me, it equals 33 and 39, just like Biggie, just like New York. This was a New York rapper. Notice Diamond has that 33 and 39 connection. His album it went diamond after he died, and this is why I think they do all this stuff. Death, it sells. I mean, how many albums go diamond? Not a lot. So a lot of you say, well, why will he fake his death? Well, that's why. Because when you fake your death, you get better promotion, and your album you're able to sell. What is it? A million? I don't know. What is diamond? I think you gotta sell like. I'll look it up now. How many albums can you sell? How many albums you need to sell to go diamond? You have to sell 10 million albums. I mean, how many people are selling 10 million albums nowadays? How many people are selling 1 million albums? Not a lot. So this is a great strategy to sell records. And, then you can retire in peace. Everybody thinks you're dead. So, you go home with all this money. Let's say they sell the albums at $12 a piece. I mean, that's a lot of money. 10 million times $12. Oof, you do the math. And then you can retire in peace, sit on the island for the rest of your life. And people, you're still going to be making money off your streams. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they fake their deaths. Besides the ritualistic reasons, right? This is a business move. But he died on March 9th, and notice his name, Biggie. He went by Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G, B.I.G. He had a bunch of names, but Biggie was the quickest way, I guess, people called him, right? Biggie, B.I.G. But notice Biggie, 39, just like the day that he died, right? On March 9th, 39. And notice Puff Daddy also has the 39 connection in his name. I think Sean Combs was Puff Daddy when Biggie died, right? And then he changed his names like 10 times after that. Sean Combs, he was born Sean Combs, Puff Daddy was. And notice the name Sean is 39. I just showed you guys how he was born November 4th, which is typically on leap years the 309th day of the year, right? And 39 is a big New York number, right? So big New York rapper dies on 3-9, and the guy's name is 39. He died in 97, and notice Notorious is 97. Christopher Wallace has the 97 gematria as well. Death is 97. Think about what day Tupac was shot. He was shot on September 7th, on 9/7, and then died 6 days after, right? Then Tupac had that song "Hit 'Em Up," which equals 97 as well. And you want to know? Look at this. Look at the gematria of "Hit 'Em Up." That was the big diss record that Tupac released, dissing Biggie and his wife. But you notice how "Hit 'Em Up" is 38 and 34. Rapper is 38 and 34. Murder is 38 and 34. Right? Biggie dies on the day with 38 in numerology, and he dies in the year 97. Hit 'Em Up is 38 and 97. So Hit 'Em Up is 97, and of course Rockefeller Records is also 97, like Carter. And right after Biggie died, the biggest Brooklyn rapper that grew out of his death was Jay-Z, right? So once they removed Biggie Smalls, here comes Jay-Z. He gets successful with Rockefeller Records. Around that same year, right? 97. This is one of the reasons I think our former president, Jimmy Carter, might die this year, because he's currently 97 years old. And notice the gematria of Carter, right? So I won't be surprised if before October, before his next birthday, Jimmy Carter dies in some tragic manner, at the age of 97. But yeah, so this is the reason, we heard about Rockefeller Records back in 97. It's in the numbers. And notice Biggie was born on May 21st, like we said, and he died on the 293rd day of his age, which is the 62nd prime number. And of course, Sacrifice is 62. He died 73 days before his upcoming birthday. And Sacrifice is 62 and 73. Now, if you include the end date, he died 74 days, including the span, before his upcoming birthday. And of course, 74 is a big number. The name Biggie Smalls is 74. Notorious B.I.G. is 74. Tupac even has a 74 connection. A lot of rappers have the 74 connection, like rappers like Nipsey Hussle. The name Nipsey is 74. And it's probably for this reason here. Words like Jesus, cross, occult, killing, rapper, Masonic, killing, all 74, And this definitely was a Masonic killing. Absolutely. And Tupac's as well. Now, Biggie Smalls' mom, who is, I guess she's 68 now. Actually, she's about to, well, she should be 69 now. She's 69 right now. When I took the screenshot, she was 67. But she was born on February 3rd, and Biggie Smalls, he died on her 35th day of her age. And of course, rap is 35, Catholic is 35. Someone let me know about the fact that Biggie and Puff Daddy, they both went to Catholic schools, which is interesting. This so-called crack dealer went to Catholic school. And I find this interesting as well. Tupac's last birthday was on June 16th, 1996. And from Tupac's last birthday to the death of Biggie, it's exactly 38 weeks. Again, rapper, death, killing, R.I.P., murder, all 38. Hit 'Em Up is 38. Even phrases like thug life, which is what Tupac had tattooed on his stomach. Thug life has that 38 gematria as well. But And you know, it was just the mockery, right? So they have the biggest two rappers at that time die in a drive-by shooting, right? And what we know about drive-by shooting? Well, it has that gematria of 213, and of course, Tupac died 213 days after his All Eyes on Me album that came out on 213. But notice this, right? Sean John Combs, who we in the beginning of the video we talked about how Biggie's death had a lot to do with Sean Combs. Notice the name Sean John Combs, which is Puff Daddy's full name. It has that gematria of 213. Drive-by shooting is 213 as well. And again, Tupac, who put out an album on February 13th, died 213 days later in a drive-by shooting. So it's just so suspicious, you know. And then this 84 stands out to me. What is this 84? Because I know the Judge with Orders 84, but there was something else with this 84. I think one of Biggie Smalls' album came out on the 84th day of the year. I think March, is it March 25th? Let me see. No, May 25th. No. Let me see. What is the 84th day of the year? Let me see something. Yeah, March 25th is the 84th day of the year. There was something up with this date. Let me see. I don't remember what it was now. Life After Death, right? I think that's what it was. Life After Death. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so Life After Death. Look at that. Life After Death comes out. I want to make sure, yeah, I'm saying that right. So, yeah, March 25th. So, Life After Death, his second album, it comes out on the 84th day of the year. And the guy who died on in the drive-by shooting, is 84. But you see how they synced up both of their albums, Biggie's second album and Tupac's last album with their death. Drive-by shooting is 84. Biggie's second album comes out on the 84th day of the year. Drive-by shooting is 213. Tupac dies 213 days after his last album. And they both die in a drive-by shooting. Come on, you guys. This stuff is undeniable, man. So, and just the mockery, right? Ready to Die. And then Tupac dies 2 years after the release of that album. I'm not sure what this was. This was a compilation album, Born Again. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Biggie had any more albums, so. But Born Again. Got the ritual numbers, got the 54 with the Jesuit order. But they did this because this supposedly came out on December 7th. Hmm. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things we could talk about because, you know, Little Kim, Faith Evans, they're two biggest deaths was synced up with them as well. Who else? Actually, we could do it now. I don't like decoding live because it could get boring, but it was something that I noticed with Faith Evans, who was supposed to be his wife. She was born June 10th, and let's see, so 38 weeks after her birthday, right? Well, look at that. He died 39 weeks after his. This is what I mean. Like, this stuff is just like, how can people deny this shit, man? You see how Biggie is 39? He died on the 39th week of Faith Evans' age. She was born June 10th. And he died 39 weeks after her death. You see? I'm telling you, if I could go through everybody, all the members on Bad Boy Records at that time, people like Little C's, Little Kim. We just saw Faith Evans. He died 39 weeks after her birthday, right? Puff Daddy, born on the 308th day of the year. Biggie dies on the day with 38 numerology. The name Sean is 39. Uh, yeah. So I mean, but 39 is a big New York number, right? New York, MSG. MSG is where the Knicks play, right? MSG is 39. Um, people like Eli Manning, the quarterback for the Giants, he retired at 39. Aaron Boone, the manager of the Yankees, he was born on March 9th. Actually, today's his birthday, Aaron Boone. He's the manager of the Yankees, you guys. They use 39 all the time with New York. But yeah, so Aaron Boone is the manager of the Yankees, and his date of birth is 39. So he turned 49 today. A New York manager. So, this stuff is not a coincidence, you guys. The name Biggie's 39. He dies on 3/9, 39 weeks after Faith Evans' birthday. Not a coincidence. Faith Evans is his baby mother. You know? You guys think this was a beef? No, come on, man. No beef. And then her name is 42. Of course it is. Of course her name is 42. And then think about how old Biggie was when he died. Right? He was 24, the reflection of 42. So many rappers from New York died at 24. Stack Bundles. Big L was also 24. I recently covered Big L's death. Then, he dies in his Averex USA leather jacket on 3/9. Maybe that's a coincidence, but how can all this be a coincidence? How? You know? I don't understand why it's taking these detectives so long to solve this cold case. I mean, isn't it obvious what happened to Biggie? I don't understand why this is still a cold case. This is who did it. This is who killed Biggie Smalls and Tupac, if they're even dead, because I think they're not. But yeah, I think we can end it there. I mean, do you really need to see more? That's the question. Oh, and he was recently at the Soul Train Music Awards, according to this album. You want to take a guess what Soul Train equals? What does Soul Train equal in Gematria? 39? Wow. He was celebrating the Soul Train Music Awards. And he dies on 3/9. Unbelievable. So let's see what's going on with the detectives. Because, I mean, it's a lot I could talk. I'll be here all day looking at all these people. And look, Raymond Futami is 74, like Notorious. 74 and 61, like Jesus. 191, like Society of Jesus. So definitely a Jesuit detective in charge of that case. Tupac shot on 9/7. So what I'll do is I'll open up the phone lines because today's a special day. Today's his 25th year anniversary, right? So if anybody wants to call in and add on to this research, definitely call us. The number is 646-986-0958. Just in case anybody's here for the first time and is wondering what all this is, maybe, hearing other voices can help them understand. And there's so many rituals that come out of this hospital, man. I wonder if he got like a liposuction that day and lost weight, came out 150 pounds and nobody recognized him. It's probably what happened. Probably got liposuction that day. Came out a whole new man. Probably went to his own funeral. Yeah, I talk about industry hoax all the time. Yeah, he does a lot of videos on Tupac, but he doesn't really talk about Gematria, which is disappointing. Somebody says Gorilla Black looks like Biggie Smalls. Yeah, he definitely sounds like him as well. Somebody asked me, is Biggie alive? Very possible. Very possible. Yeah. So yeah, PJ Allen says he sold. You gotta sell 10 million. Think about that though. Selling $10 million, selling 10 million copies at like. I remember back in the day, the albums was like $12. Cause I remember the Rockefeller Records album. What was it? Dynasty album. It was like $12. So let's see, 12 times 10 million. That's 10 million, right? It took about 100. Was that $120 million? He made $120 million. $120 million off of one music album. You telling me that there's no reason why they fake their deaths? Maybe $120 million reasons. There's 120 million reasons why they all fake their deaths. Like, come on, nobody's doing that in music anymore. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I do think it was definitely Freemasonry behind this ritual. Yep. Somebody says the Bloods killed Tupac and the LAPD killed Biggie. This is what I mean. A lot of you, like, it don't matter what we show you, you're just not gonna wake up. So, but since nobody wants to call in, I think we can end it right there. Appreciate everybody. Let's hope you. I want to get to everybody's comment. I don't want to miss anything. Let me see. Yes, Richard says Spengali's 35. Yes. Yeah, he died 35. Biggie died 35 days after his mom's birthday. His mom was 44 at the time. Think about kills 44. Yeah, I don't think Gorilla Black was out back then. Yeah. Somebody says he might be a kill the MC. I've heard that so much, but who knows? Maybe. Yeah, the Masons and the Jesuits, they do go hand in hand. Yep. So he says many, if not all celebrities fake their deaths. I think so, but I think a lot of them are being killed though. I don't think it's all of them though. Yeah, execution is 44. Shooting is 44. His mother, Biggie Small's mom, was 44 when all this happened. And now that I think about it, shooting is also 109, and I think let me see, because Biggie Pac was shot on 9/7/96. Let's see something. Oh yeah, that's what I. Okay, I knew I saw a 109 somewhere. Yeah, Biggie was killed on a day with 109 numerology, and shooting is 109. That's what it was. Shooting is 109. Shooting is 109 and 44. His mother was 44 years old. He died on the day with 109 numerology. But I'll end it there. Enjoy your Wednesday, everybody. Rest in peace to the Notorious B.I.G. Hopefully this video can clarify any doubters out there, or you know, those of you who believe in coincidences. Just know that these are too many coincidences, and it's like this all the time. Hmm. Hit them up. Life after death. Yeah, definitely gonna live life with $120 million. Let's see if I can look up what was the price of that album. Let me see. Price of Life After Death album in '97. Maybe the price of the album comes up. Oh, it says here that right now the album costs $14, right? But I'm not sure. I don't think that was the price back then. It was $40? No way. I don't think I'll be able to find that, but it should be around that range, like $10 to $12. I had a cousin who used to buy all the Jay-Z albums, and she was always paying like around $10 to $12. She bought Eminem's album, Jay-Z album, Aaliyah's album. She used to buy all the albums back in the day. She had all those CDs in her house. I used to read the little booklet that I used to bring, because that was the only time I got to see real albums. Because I used to get like bootleg CDs, right? So I never get the booklet, because when you buy a bootleg, you're just buying the CD of a person in the street, right? But my cousin, she always used to have the official albums, and every album had like a nice booklet, and you get to see through the pictures and stuff. And I used to ask her like, "How much you pay for all this?" She like, "Yeah, they're like $10." I'm like, "Oh wow." So I'm thinking like, if you sell 10 million copies of your album at $10 a pop, you just saw the math. It's like $120 million. Not even counting like, well, I don't know what else they did at back then. I don't think they did any tours. Maybe Puff Daddy went on tour with Biggie's music. Who knows? Because I know there's a lot of other money that came from other sources, but $120 million over one album is a lot of money, man. And look at all these awards that they got, right? Album of the year. Like that album was okay, but I guess it's all part of the ritual. More money, more problems. You definitely got more money after this album. And his first, look at that. His first song is a minute and 39 seconds long. The intro, Life After Death intro. 139, like Freemasonry. Like his first album came out 13/9. Like our Tupac Shakur is 139. A 61 minute. The first disc was 61 minutes. Big Jesus number. The second one was 59 minutes. You know what that's about? 59, right? Oh shit! No way. No way. It was 59 minutes and 42 seconds long. You guys see that? Oh shit! Look at Slavery, 42. Slave is 59. Nigger is 42. Negro is 59. They use those numbers all the time, 42 and 59. They like to use them together. I think about Kobe Bryant. It took him 42 minutes to score 59 points in his last game. And it looks like Biggie Smalls' album, the clean edition, is 59 minutes and 42 seconds long. Like, how is that even possible? How do they time every record perfectly for it to sync up that way? Just crazy. Just here, he went 11 times platinum. Crazy. Somebody says Ready to Die is 56. No way. It is 56. And there's also 106 and 52. Like, I Can't Breathe. Black Lives Matter. Ready to Die and Black Lives Matter is probably like, let me see something. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. The guy dies in a drive-by shooting. Well, Black Lives Matter is 106 and 56. And I think I Can't Breathe, which is what George Floyd and Eric Garner said before they died. Yeah, that's the one that has the 106 and 52, like, Ready to Die. Yeah, they use those numbers all the time, 106, 52. Yeah, but Ready to Die is 56, though. Look at that. Look at that. Like Society of Jesus. So Black Power, yeah. I knew it was one of those words that had the same gematria. So Black Power and Ready to Die. Yeah, there it is. Yep. That's a great find. So Atachi says that the 106th mayor of New York was black. Is that a fact? Let me see. David Dinkins. I think we have a black mayor now, though. He was definitely black. Yeah, our current mayor is black right now. But that's funny how the 106th mayor was a black man. Crazy, man. It's crazy what they do to us with these numbers, yo. This stuff is unbelievable. Great point. Tupac's mother was a Black Panther. Black Panther Party is similar to the Black Lives Matter movement. All that stuff is connected. Absolutely. Yep. Makes sense. But I'll end the day. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, everybody. And again, rest in peace of Tupac. Rest in peace of Biggie. And yeah, so if anybody doubts what happened to them, just see for yourself. The same numbers that I discussed in this video are probably gonna show up in the next death of a rapper. 38, 44, 97. We might see another 213 soon. So Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for watching, and please share the video if you like it. Peace, everybody.